You ever have one of those days where your energy's just not there, your focus feels cloudy, and even simple things feel like a chore? If you're a man over 60, that kind of day might feel more familiar than you'd like to admit. But what if I told you there's one everyday item, probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, that could help bring some of that vitality back? I'm talking about plain old baking soda. Yep, that little box with the orange label you probably used once for cookies or to deodorize your fridge. Turns out, baking soda might be one of the most overlooked tools for helping men over 60 reclaim their strength, energy, and even their bedroom performance. Now, I'm not saying it's a miracle fix, but what we've seen from both science and real-world results is surprising, especially when it comes to blood flow, energy, detoxification, and hormones. Hi, I'm Dr. Sophia Jain, and today we're going to talk about 10 powerful, science-backed ways baking soda can support men's health after 60. Not just on the surface, but deep inside, where your blood vessels, nerves, and hormones are all working behind the scenes. So grab a glass of water, settle in, and let's explore how something so simple could help you feel strong, sharp, and steady again. Benefit number 1. Baking soda supports better blood flow by balancing your body's pH. Now I know, pH might sound like something you only worried about in high school chemistry, but it's actually crucial for your health, especially your circulation. Here's how it works. Your body has to keep its blood pH in a very tight range, just slightly alkaline. But as you age, especially with stress, processed food, and inactivity, your system can become more acidic. That acid buildup might not show up on your yearly checkup, but it can quietly make your blood thicker, your vessels tighter, and your circulation sluggish. And you know what that affects first? Blood flow, including to the areas you don't want to ignore. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a natural buffer. When taken in small doses, it helps neutralize excess acid in the blood, making it easier for oxygen and nutrients to move through your system. One of my patients, Mike, a retired firefighter, told me he'd been waking up with cold hands and feet and just didn't feel the same spark he used to. We didn't jump to prescriptions. Instead, we looked at the basics. He started adding half a teaspoon of baking soda to a glass of water in the morning, and within a couple weeks, he felt warmer, more alert, and yes, more responsive in the bedroom. Because when blood flows better, everything starts to feel better. Benefit number 2, it helps reduce inflammation in your blood vessels. Now here's something most men aren't told. Inflammation isn't always a visible thing. You can't always feel it directly, but it quietly damages the lining of your arteries, making them less flexible, more prone to blockages, and less responsive to the signals that say, hey, it's time to open up and let blood flow. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest culprits behind declining performance, fatigue, and even heart problems after 60. But baking soda, thanks to its alkalizing and anti-inflammatory properties, can actually help calm that inflammation down. There's even research showing that regular use of small amounts of baking soda may shift the immune system to reduce inflammatory responses, not just in joints, but in the cardiovascular system. Take a guy like Frank, a 68-year-old retired mechanic. He came to me after feeling tightness in his chest and said he felt tense all the time. We worked on his stress, of course, but I also had him try a morning routine of baking soda with warm water and lemon. After about a month, not only did he feel less pressure in his chest, his blood pressure started to ease, and he noticed he wasn't getting winded walking upstairs anymore. That's the power of reducing hidden inflammation. Benefit number 3, it enhances nitric oxide signaling. Now stay with me here, because this one's huge. Nitric oxide is the molecule your body releases to signal blood vessels to relax and expand. It's like flipping a switch that says, let the blood flow. And for men, especially when it comes to intimacy, this is the key player. Without proper nitric oxide signaling, arousal becomes harder to achieve and even harder to maintain. And while most men have heard about this from commercials or medications, they don't always realize their body can actually improve this naturally. Baking soda doesn't directly create nitric oxide, but by improving the environment inside your body, reducing acid, lowering inflammation, it allows your natural nitric oxide pathways to function better. Think of it like cleaning the pipes so the water flows stronger and smoother. I had one gentleman, 72 years old, who told me he'd tried supplements, pills, even expensive injections. But what finally made a difference was addressing the internal environment. After just 6 weeks of consistent baking soda use, along with light walking and hydration, he said his spark felt like it had returned. His words, not mine. Benefit number 4, it helps oxygen reach the tissues that need it. Now, your red blood cells carry oxygen all through your body, right? But what many people don't know is that your blood pH affects how easily those red blood cells release oxygen into the tissues, your brain, muscles, and yes, those more sensitive areas. When your body's too acidic, red blood cells hold onto oxygen more tightly. That means even if you're breathing fine and your heart's working okay, the oxygen isn't getting delivered where it needs to go. By helping normalize your blood's pH, baking soda makes it easier for oxygen to actually reach your tissues. That means more energy, better mental clarity, and improved endurance, not just for workouts, but for everyday life. I remember Dale, 65, a former airline pilot. He came to me feeling sluggish and mentally foggy. We checked his oxygen saturation, and it looked fine on paper, but his energy was in the gutter. Once we addressed his internal chemistry with just a simple baking soda and water protocol, he said it felt like someone turned the lights back on. That's the kind of difference proper oxygen delivery makes. Benefit number 5, it supports energy production at the cellular level. Inside every cell in your body, you've got little power plants called mitochondria. These guys are responsible for producing the energy you use to think, move, and respond. But here's the catch, mitochondria don't work well in an acidic or inflamed environment. They slow down. They get stressed. And when they do, so do you. That's why so many men after 60 start feeling like their battery drains faster than it used to. Baking soda helps create a healthier environment for your mitochondria to function, especially in the smooth muscle tissue involved in erections. More energy at the cellular level means better stamina, quicker recovery, and stronger performance. I had a guy named Rick, 69, who used to be a runner. He said lately he felt like he was dragging himself through every step, even just walking the dog. But within 3 weeks of supporting his cellular environment, with baking soda, hydration, and proper breathing, he started jogging again. It's like my body remembered how to move, he told me. That's what happens when your cells get the fuel they need. All right, we've covered a lot already: blood flow, inflammation, nitric oxide, oxygen, energy. But we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll talk about hormones, detox, and one of the most silent saboteurs of male performance, belly fat. Stick with me, because the next few benefits might just be the missing link for you. Now, benefit number 6, let's talk about hormones, specifically testosterone. After 60, it's no secret that testosterone levels start to decline. And while that's a natural part of aging, the real concern isn't just the number. It's how your body's able to use the testosterone you still have. That's something most men don't realize. Your levels could be normal, but if your cells are inflamed or your liver is sluggish, that testosterone might not be doing its job. That's where baking soda comes in. By supporting liver function, balancing pH, and reducing systemic inflammation, it creates a cleaner internal environment that allows your hormones to work more efficiently. There's also some emerging evidence that baking soda may help lower cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. And when cortisol is high due to chronic stress, poor sleep, or even inflammation, it suppresses testosterone. So when you lower cortisol, testosterone tends to get a chance to breathe again. One of my clients, Carl, age 71, told me he'd been feeling unmotivated, less competitive, and his drive, both mentally and physically, just wasn't there anymore. We didn't chase testosterone boosters. We focused on reducing internal stress, baking soda, better hydration, and deep breathing. Within a month, his motivation came back. He started lifting weights again, and his confidence showed up in every part of his life. Benefit number 7, it helps detoxify the body, especially the kidneys and the lymphatic system. Here's the truth. After 60, your body's detox systems can start to slow down. Your kidneys, which filter your blood, and your lymphatic system, which clears out cellular waste, both rely on a delicate balance of minerals and pH to do their job well. If that balance is off, even just slightly, your body can get backed up with toxins. You may not notice it at first, but it can show up as fatigue, brain fog, bad breath, body odor, and yes, even poor performance. Baking soda helps by neutralizing acidic waste and supporting kidney filtration. In fact, there are clinical studies showing that people with early-stage kidney issues were able to slow the progression of their condition with regular, low-dose baking soda. I always recommend talking with your doctor before starting anything if you have kidney issues, of course, but for most healthy men, a half teaspoon a day can be incredibly supportive. One of my clients, George, 66, said he felt like his body ran smoother when he started baking soda and lemon water in the morning. He was going to the bathroom more regularly, sweating better, and even sleeping more soundly. Benefit number 8, it helps reduce sugar cravings and support healthy weight. Now I want to be clear, baking soda is not a fat burner. But what it can do is support the internal chemistry that makes it easier to lose weight, especially belly fat. Here's how. When your body is too acidic, it holds onto fat as a way to buffer that acidity. It's a protective mechanism. The more acidic your body becomes, the harder it is to let go of fat, especially around the midsection. But once you start to alkalize the body, even just slightly, your system doesn't need to hold on to that fat as much. I've seen men drop 10, 15 pounds just by fixing their hydration, balancing their pH, and moving their bodies. And the amazing thing? Their appetite often adjusts too. They stop craving sugar and processed carbs, and their energy starts to feel more stable. Take Paul, 70 years old. He'd been battling stubborn belly fat for years. After we added baking soda and apple cider vinegar in the morning, plus some light walking, he said his cravings basically vanished. 2 months later, he dropped a full pant size and said, "I feel like I'm finally working with my body instead of fighting it." Benefit number 9. Baking soda supports the nervous system, especially the vagus nerve. This is one most guys don't hear about, but it's a game changer. The vagus nerve runs from your brain all the way down to your gut, and it plays a major role in relaxation, digestion, heart rate, and even arousal. When it's calm and healthy, you feel balanced. When it's inflamed or overstimulated, you feel wired, anxious, or just numb. You might have trouble getting aroused or staying present in intimate moments. Baking soda, by calming inflammation in the gut and supporting better digestion, indirectly supports vagus nerve function. When your gut is calm, your vagus nerve sends healthier signals to your brain and back down to your heart, your diaphragm, and yes, your pelvis. A guy named Ethan, 63, came to me with complaints of anxiety, shallow breathing, and occasional performance issues. We focused on calming his system down, baking soda with warm lemon water before meals, plus a little deep breathing. Within a couple weeks, he said he was more relaxed, more connected with his wife, and just felt in the zone again. That's the vagus nerve coming back online. And finally, benefit number 10, baking soda amplifies the power of other natural ingredients. You see, baking soda isn't meant to be a solo act. When paired with the right combinations, it can make other remedies more effective. For example, baking soda and lemon water can help cleanse the liver and support bile flow. Baking soda and apple cider vinegar can help digestion and stimulate stomach acid in a healthy way. And baking soda with magnesium can support muscle relaxation, better sleep, and calmer nerves. It's a catalyst, a helper. One of my favorite combinations is baking soda with beet juice. Beets are high in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. But when your body's acidic, that process doesn't work as well. By adding a pinch of baking soda to beet juice, you can improve that conversion and help your blood vessels respond better. Another great combo is baking soda and cucumber water. Super hydrating, helps with detox, and supports better circulation without stressing the heart. So let me recap quickly. Baking soda helps improve blood flow, reduce inflammation, boost nitric oxide, increase oxygen delivery, support cellular energy, balance hormones, detoxify the system, reduce cravings, calm the nervous system. and enhance other natural remedies. And all that from something that costs about $1 a box. But as with anything, it's about how you use it. So let me now walk you through the safest and most effective ways to actually add baking soda into your routine without overdoing it or causing problems. Because yes, even something natural like baking soda can be harmful if misused. And I want you to get the benefits without the backlash. Alright, so now that we've gone over the top 10 benefits of baking soda for men over 60, let's get practical. Because knowing is great, but doing is what changes your life. So first, let's talk about how to take baking soda safely. The key word here is safely. You don't need a lot to get the benefits, and more is definitely not better. In fact, overdoing it can actually backfire. The sweet spot for most men is around 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda mixed into a full glass, about 8 to 10 ounces of filtered water. That's it. You don't need heaping spoonfuls. Just a level 1/2 teaspoon. Stir it until it dissolves and sip it slowly. Not chugged, not slammed, just smooth and steady. Now, when's the best time to take it? Most of the time, I recommend on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. Why? Because your body's been resting, detoxing, and recalibrating overnight. You're more likely to absorb what you take in the morning. Plus, it sets the tone for your digestion and energy for the rest of the day. But if mornings don't work for you, another good option is about 2 hours after a meal, when your stomach's mostly empty, but not completely bare. There's also a third option that some guys find helpful, especially if they deal with heartburn or digestive discomfort at night, and that's before bed, but only if you haven't eaten within 2 hours. Again, never take baking soda right after a meal. It can neutralize your stomach acid and mess with digestion. That's a big mistake I see a lot of men make. They think it'll help them digest their steak or their chili, but it actually slows everything down and can cause bloating or worse. Next, let's talk combinations. Because like I said earlier, baking soda really shines when you pair it with other natural ingredients. So here are 3 of my favorite combinations. Combo number 1, baking soda plus fresh lemon juice. This one's a classic. Take 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, mix it with the juice of half a fresh lemon, then add water. The mixture will fizz a bit, that's normal. It's just the citric acid reacting with the sodium bicarbonate. This combo is excellent for liver support, detoxification, and boosting your pH first thing in the morning. It's gentle, alkalizing, and gets your bowels moving. Combo number 2, baking soda plus apple cider vinegar. This one's a bit more advanced, and it's great for digestion and reducing gas or bloating. Same idea, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda plus 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar in water. Let it fizz, then drink. This combo creates a reaction that supports stomach acid production, helps break down food more effectively, and can even reduce heartburn in some cases, but again, don't take it right after meals. Combo number 3, baking soda plus beet juice or cucumber water. If you want better blood flow, oxygenation, and performance, try this in the afternoon. Mix a pinch, just 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of fresh beet juice or cucumber water. Sip it slowly. This helps your body produce and use nitric oxide more efficiently, which supports healthy circulation and can enhance your stamina, both physically and intimately. Now let's talk about how often. You don't need to take baking soda every day forever. Most men do great with a simple schedule like this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, baking soda with lemon water in the morning. Tuesday, Thursday, baking soda with apple cider vinegar mid-morning or mid-afternoon. Saturday, baking soda with beet juice or cucumber water, especially before a workout or a walk. Sunday, take the day off. Let your body rest. Hydrate well. This kind of rhythm helps you avoid overdoing it, keeps your body responsive, and prevents any buildup of sodium. And always, always stay hydrated throughout the day. Baking soda works best when your kidneys are flushing things out properly. So drink plenty of clean water, preferably with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to keep your electrolytes balanced. Now, I need to be honest with you about who should avoid or be cautious with baking soda. If you have severe kidney disease, high blood pressure that's not well managed, liver cirrhosis, or congestive heart failure, you need to talk to your doctor before adding any baking soda into your diet. Even natural remedies can interact with medications or stress the body if used incorrectly. Also, if you're on a low-sodium diet, be aware that baking soda is sodium-based, sodium bicarbonate, so it can add to your daily intake. But for most healthy men over 60 who eat a clean, unprocessed diet, a half teaspoon a few times a week is well within safe limits. Just don't exceed 1.5 teaspoons a day total, and don't take it for more than 2 weeks straight without a break, unless your doctor specifically approves it. Now let's take a look at some real-world feedback. These are men I've worked with directly, and they've used baking soda consistently and responsibly as part of a bigger lifestyle shift. Daniel, 68. I started using baking soda and lemon water 3 times a week. Within 2 weeks, my joint pain was noticeably lower, I had more energy to walk, and my digestion felt more predictable. Marcus, 73. My blood pressure had been hovering just a little high. I didn't want more meds. After adding baking soda with apple cider vinegar a few times a week and cutting out processed food, my pressure came down into a healthy range. Frank, 64. Honestly, I was skeptical. But the combo of baking soda with beet juice before workouts changed everything. My stamina shot up, I felt less winded, and even my wife said I looked more alive. These are men just like you, same age group, same concerns, same goals. They didn't need miracle pills or expensive programs. They just needed a few small tools to unlock what their body was already trying to do. Now, I want to emphasize something very important. Baking soda is not a cure-all. It's not going to undo years of bad habits overnight, but it can act as a powerful stepping stone. It can help your body reset its internal chemistry, flush out waste, improve circulation, and give your hormones room to function better. Think of it like a reset button, not magic, but momentum. In the final part of the script, I'm going to walk you through how to build an entire morning and evening health ritual around baking soda and a few simple habits. We'll also cover mistakes to avoid, the best time to pair it with exercise, and a summary you can follow every week to make it stick. All right, let's bring it all together now, because information is only useful when you turn it into a habit. And for men over 60, the habit needs to be simple, sustainable, and something you can actually enjoy doing, not just another thing on the to-do list. Let's start with a morning ritual. This one's easy. You wake up, go to the bathroom, hydrate with a glass of plain water first, then mix your 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda with either lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, depending on the day. Stir it into about 8 to 10 ounces of water, sip it slowly while standing or walking around, and take a few minutes to breathe deeply. Don't rush it. That simple ritual gives your body a gentle alkalizing flush, supports digestion, and wakes up your organs. Now, if you're someone who likes to get a bit of movement in the morning, this is the perfect time for a 10 to 20-minute walk. Nothing crazy, just get outside, feel the air, and move your legs. This helps circulate the blood, pushes the baking soda through your system, and gives you a boost of nitric oxide, especially if you're in the sun. You'll feel more awake, more focused, and more grounded by the time you get home. Next up is your evening ritual. This is optional, but a lot of men find it really helpful. After dinner, at least 2 hours after, when your stomach is mostly empty, mix a smaller amount of baking soda, maybe 1/4 teaspoon, with warm water or cucumber water. Sip it slowly. This helps with detox, supports your kidneys overnight, and may reduce restless legs or nighttime acid buildup. Now, for those who are active or working on improving stamina, you'll want to pair baking soda with your workouts or walks. Try this. 30 to 45 minutes before you exercise, drink a glass of beet juice or cucumber water with 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. This can increase endurance, reduce lactic acid buildup, and help your muscles recover faster. Especially if you're lifting light weights, swimming, cycling, or doing cardio. But listen, don't make these common mistakes, all right? These are big ones that can really mess things up. 1. Taking baking soda too close to meals. Like I said before, this is a huge error. It can interfere with digestion, cause bloating, and throw off your stomach acid balance. Always wait at least 2 hours after a meal. 2. Taking too much. More isn't better. It's just harder on your kidneys. Stick to 1/2 teaspoon once a day, 1 to 4 days a week, and take breaks. If you feel bloated or overly thirsty, cut back immediately. 3. Using baking powder instead of baking soda. They're not the same thing. You want pure sodium bicarbonate with no aluminum or fillers. Read the label. Look for aluminum-free baking soda if possible. 4. Ignoring hydration. Baking soda works because it changes your body chemistry, but it also increases sodium intake slightly, which means you need to drink more water throughout the day. Don't skip this. Aim for at least 2 to 2.5 liters of clean water daily, a bit more if you're active or live in a warm area. 5. Skipping sleep. If your body doesn't get quality rest, you won't get the full benefit of anything, not even baking soda. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of consistent, quality sleep. This is when your body detoxes, resets hormones, and heals. You don't need to be perfect. Just be consistent. And remember, baking soda is just one piece of the bigger puzzle. It supports what you're already doing with your food, your movement, your sleep, and your mindset. Now let me leave you with a final thought from Dr. Sophia Jain. She said this during one of our last sit-downs, and it really stuck with me. She said, "The male body doesn't fall apart at 60, it starts talking louder. It's asking for better inputs, cleaner fuel, and a little more attention. You don't need to fight aging. You just need to stop ignoring the signals." That right there, that's what this is all about. Listening to your body, supporting it naturally, and making smart, simple shifts that give you more control over your health. So if you're waking up tired, feeling sluggish, battling cravings, or losing motivation, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your internal chemistry needs a reset. And baking soda, used correctly, could be the simplest, cheapest, and most overlooked tool in your cabinet. You've now got the knowledge, the how-to, the timing, and the safety tips. So go try it. Start small. Stay consistent. And check in with yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally. Your body's a smart machine. Give it what it needs, and it will reward you with better energy, sharper focus, calmer digestion, stronger performance, and a sense of ownership over your health again. You're not done yet, my friend. You're just getting started.